The basic finding that we have in our historical work is that, yes, you can have episodes of growth under different arrangements, but if you want to sustain that growth over time, it's much stronger and much more robust if you can move towards the kind of inclusive participation that Daron just outlined. And I would flag, for example, South Korea, which is where my wife's family is from. South Korea started out poor after World War II. In fact, in the early 1960s, it was very poor. It was quite authoritarian at the beginning. Over time, there was economic growth and an effort to democratize, which was difficult and messy, and there are plenty of struggles. It's not an easy journey. But I think as a result, the South Korean economy, which is not without its problems today, but it's in much better shape, and their achievements are really remarkable compared to what some other countries have been able to pull off. So I think that's the direction, Daron, in which our work, I think, should orient people.
And in fact, South Korea versus North Korea contrast is at the very beginning of the book, because it beautifully illustrates the role of institutions. The South and the North, according to the best data we have, were on a par before the country was separated and diverged in terms of its institutions. And over time, a more than tenfold difference built up. South Korea, exactly like Simon said, is not without problems. Democratization was very difficult, but the evidence that, for example, we have in our democracy and growth paper shows South Korean economy picked up speed after democratization and did so in a more healthy way. But right now, South Korea is still dominated by large corporations, which brings some benefits and some costs. And South Korea is dealing with one of the most rapidly aging populations. It has done reasonably well in that context by using a combination of technologies and other adjustments. But it is a very difficult transition. China will undergo it as well. But a country that's aging so rapidly is going to face many new challenges, and openness to new ideas, new technologies is going to be very important. In the case of South Korea, doing so via a competitive pressure is going to be more important as well. And I don't hold very great hope for North Korea. Its system is cemented, at least for now. And the advice to North Korea, well, who is the advice going to go to? I think one of the emphasis of our work has been, look, institutions are bad because they serve certain people's interests. They are bad often for society, but quite lucrative for the people who control the institutions. And North Korea is, again, a case in point. I don't think it is very fruitful to give advice to the North Korean elite, and the North Korean people are under great oppression right now. But I think that system is facing more and more difficulties, and one day, hopefully, it will unite with South Korea under a more democratic system.
Collapse of the Soviet Empire had some knock-on effects. The reforms in China were consequential, and that also affected other countries. But North Korea retreated into its shell and has created a system that obviously favors a very few people, and a lot of people in North Korea have suffered over many years. And these few people are heavily armed, and they've acquired or built for themselves a lot of nuclear weapon capacity and also some rocket launch capacity that's not insignificant. This is extremely dangerous. And just because better, stronger institutions give you more inclusive growth and allow more people to climb out of poverty does not mean that all leaderships want to embrace such institutions. On the contrary, many leaderships around the world have gone in another direction in recent years. So there are many things to worry about in the North Korean situation.
Thank you.
Very interesting. Thank you. Our next question comes from Paolo Mastrolilli. The floor is yours.